Mark making isn't about what you're drawing. It's about how you show up on the surface. Your marks are already unique, just like your handwriting. The work is learning to trust them. And that's what we're doing today. Most people only know the paintings and not the drawings. This is Rembrandt. Look at his beautiful mark making. Sketches are where emotion shows up first, confidence is built, and the artist thinks and feels freely. These next two images are Monet. These early marks are not mistakes. They're the beginning of the conversation. Seeing these early sketches shows the raw energy and emotion they put into their work. Vincent van Gogh has thick, purposeful marks. His directional strokes create movement and emotion. His marks are textural, almost sculptural, and they translate onto his canvases with deep impasto. He teaches us that pressure and repetition can amplify feeling, and our inner experiences can live in our strokes. You can see the raw sketch of the sunflowers translate onto the canvas and the beauty of his marks in A Starry Night. Matisse focused on the essence of his subjects. His lines are confident, fluid, and rhythmic. Each line feels intentional and not corrected. In his very long career, he changed his style many times, but always stayed true to his inner voice. One honest, intuitive line can say more than 100 careful ones. Matisse teaches us that we can always change direction and keep experimenting as long as we stay true to that inner voice. These masters didn't start with paintings. They started with marks. Today we're going to be talking about mark making as an emotional language. Our growth in painting isn't about perfection. It's about showing up, experimenting, and building our confidence one mark at a time. Creating art is about communication, not perfection. Marks are a visual language, and there is no right mark, only our intentional ones. Yesterday, I started a new sketchbook. So if you wanted to start a new sketchbook practice, this is a great, easy, simple exercise you can do in yours. So I'm doing some mark making exercises, and they're not a picture. They're just simply putting down marks using different tools, and that's what I'm going to demonstrate today. I'm going to be demonstrating a variety of different tools that you can try in your own sketchbook. These first two tools are Lyra pencils. One is water soluble and one is not. The blue one is water soluble. So I'm going to make a variety of marks with each tool. The water soluble ones I will activate so you can see what they do. You will notice that the black one is darker only because it is a different hardness. So the water-soluble one is a 2B, the black one is a 6B. It's a much softer graphite. And then I'm just going to activate the water-soluble side of this mark-making exercise so you can see what happens. It's not real washy like a watercolor pencil. It just slightly darkens it. The next thing I'm going to demonstrate is just a fine line marker. I'm going to do some marker. Now, marker is beautiful. It is very expressive. It pairs really well for mixed media with any kind of water-based media like watercolor, gouache, because it's permanent and it won't move when you put like transparent watercolor or even gouache over it. Or you could even draw on top of it when that's dry, 100% dry. It looks beautiful. And then I'm going to go over it with a thicker marker so you can see the difference. But marker is artist marker can be a really beautiful medium. And you can get really thin, fine lines with it, or you can get really thick. Some of the artist markers I have a thin side and a thick side, but even with this really thick one, I'm able to get really fine lines. They're very fun to work with, and you can actually get kind of a watercolor effect if you have a full range of colors with them. They're really fun to work with. Next, I'll be using a charcoal pencil. It comes in a lot of different forms, but today I'm using a pencil, and it's also super expressive. It's soft. It blends really well. You can get really dynamic marks with it. I adore charcoal. It can go very light or very dark. You can pull areas out with an eraser to get to reveal light areas. It's a wonderful medium. I really adore it. Next, I'm sharing the Stabilo Woody, which was originally designed as a children's art material, but lots of adults love these. They are chunky and thick, and they are water soluble. So they have a watercolor effect, and they're really, really fun to work with. I really like these, and I know a lot of adult artists that use them. You can get really fun, chunky marks with them. They go light or soft, and I will activate it so you can see. They do give kind of a stronger watercolor effect than the Lyra pencil. So I'm going to do half of it. I'm going to activate half so you can see what it looks like. I'll be linking in the description box below to all these materials if you're interested in purchasing any of them. You can see it has a far more watercolor effect than the Lyra pencil. It really activates. So next we're just going to look at some regular graphite pencils. One of them is just a plain graphite, no wood. Okay, and the other one is just a regular wooden pencil. And one of them, the graphite pencil, is just an HB, so it's not a very dark pencil. And then the other one, I believe, is a 4B, which is a little bit softer. So it's going to be darker. The bigger the number with a B, the darker it's going to be. And if it's an H pencil, the larger the number, the lighter it will be. Now you can already see in this very short demo how much of a difference the tool you choose will make in the marks you're creating. So never be afraid to experiment. And it also goes for brushes and brush sizes, and whatever tool you choose will affect your work. Next, I'm choosing oil pastels, which I adore, of course, and so they make a really thick, chunky mark, and they blend so well. This is the brand that I always love to recommend for people who want to try them. They're the Mungyo, and I do have like a review on my channel. You can look at it under product reviews on my playlist, but they're super creamy and rich and very well priced for people who are just starting out. And I actually use these as an underpainting under my own pastels, and then I use the more expensive brands on top. So I do use these in my own work. I really like them, and they're just really fun to play with. They blend so beautifully, and they're so creamy and rich, and they're really fun. So they're a step up from, like, if you've ever used kids' oil pastels, these aren't the same thing. They are so wonderful to work with, and they make beautiful marks. Next, I'm just going to start a fresh page and fill it up with mark making as a simple exercise. And this is something you can do. It's no pressure because you don't have to draw a picture. I'm using marker just for clarity's sake. And so just so that you can see what I'm doing, and all you have to do is take whatever tool that you want to experiment with. And you could do a page for every tool you have at home, in your studio, or want to experiment with, and do a page like this. Also, when you get a new tool that you just purchased and you want to play with it and see what it does, do a mark making page like this, or as a warm-up when you first get into the studio and you're cold and you really need a warm-up. This is a great one. So no pressure, just play on your page, make marks. It's a good warm-up. At the very end, I grabbed my woody, I made some additional marks. Just play, have fun, and do what feels right. Remember, while we're practicing this, you're expanding your mark making vocabulary. So how does this relate to our regular work? Here I'm just doing a really fast study, and it's sped up quite a bit, but I'm just doing a pear and oil pastel, and I'm pushing myself to go fast. And I'm just using quick marks and exploring color, and I'm not trying to be perfect in any sort of way. Remember, there's no right mark. We're just exploring the direction of the strokes, the pressure of touch, and a variety of tool. Marks are how we think on the page. Just practice a little bit every day. Your confidence will grow through the repetition of practicing mark making. Your emotion lives in those early marks. Try a page a day. Let your marks be messy. Let them be honest. In this study, I really pushed myself to go quick. I'm using big chunky marks. I'm layering the color in. I didn't stay true to the color of the pear, which, by the way, is that plastic fruit from the 70s that all grandmas used to have on the kitchen table or the dining room table. I just keep that in the studio because it's just really easy to work with, and I have it handy, and I don't have to drag real fruit out here. But I just use it as a form, and then I kind of just let my imagination take over, and I just kind of play with the colors. And this is just a study. It's not a finished painting. Then I realized I wasn't happy with those colors, so I reworked some of them, and I went back in and adjusted some of the greens. And, you can go back in and fix things if you don't like them. And, if it ends up being a failure, it's not a big disaster. Just keep playing and trying and adjusting. And if you're not happy with something, go back in and fix it. And just have fun experimenting. That's how we learn. Your marks don't need to be perfect. They just need to be yours.